Oh, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt's convinced that Robert De Niro's on some kind of Epstein list or some kind of thing like that, and then he's afraid that if Trump does get power, he's going to expose him, and he is actually going to come at him.
Of course Kurt thinks
That's
that.
what Kurt thinks that.
Kurt thinks that about every thing that happens in the world.
I think Robert De Niro's just got Trump derangement syndrome.
I think he's old, too. There's a thing about old men.
And
they want to yell at everybody.
And he's completely... Did you see when he went and gave that speech outside of the trial? That was bizarre.
Who told him that was a good idea?
Hollywood's angriest granddad has found his match. What happens when the world's most unpredictable podcast host unleashes full beast mode? Enter Joe Rogan, a stand-up comedian and cage-side philosopher who just launched a verbal attack on Robert. De Niro, so brutal, even Scorsese would have yelled, "Cut!" It was a combination of political rant, protein, and full demolition. Not pretty, not subtle, and certainly not scripted. This was less Raging Bull and more Raging Boomer, and Rogan didn't hold back. Is De Niro's time up, or is he just refusing to leave the stage?
Why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this publicly?
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
If you're going to come out and say that you have a really deep-seated hatred for one of the two people running for president, you can't just be, he's a bully, he's a piece of shit, I hate him.
He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
You probably, if you're going to express yourself about it and alienate 50% of the country, which it seems like it is, you're going to have to do better than that. You should have some specific...
Robert De Niro, once the unquestioned monarch of gritty gangster movies, has taken on a new role: Grand Marshal of angry old man politics. He used to portray characters that made you think he was a crazed cab driver or a mafia leader with a grudge. Now he's throwing political tantrums that sound less like Shakespeare and more like a perplexed uncle yelling at the mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. Whatever happened to the actor? Someone swapped his script with a Twitter thread.
He starts yelling at regular people. He's like, fuck you, you're a gangster. Go fuck you. Like,
it's crazy that that's the guy
what?
from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
You know what also I think those guys have no friends. I think the only friends they have are Hollywood phonies. And so you're in this weird world where everybody you talk to is a phony, and you become a phony, and everyone's a phony, and your grasp on reality is very slippery, and your eyes are going, right? Mm-hmm. So your vision of the world, your actual vision of the world, your ability to read a phone. You ever see old people's text messages? The fucking text on their phone is like as big as my hand.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so your vision of the world is blurring, literally and figuratively, and then you're...
Joe Rogan is the guy who turned podcasting into a cultural battleground and casual conversation into a national event. Rogan didn't offer a polite critique. He delivered a vicious, unrestrained takedown that likely made the boom mic operator flinch. De Niro may have written the book on portraying tough guys in movies, but Rogan has written the manual on dismantling such personas when they attempt to play philosophers.
On stage in front of people with TV cameras pointed at you. You've never experienced that in your life, and you have a panic attack. It doesn't mean you're an idiot, and that's also Robert De Niro.
Yeah, it's in
It's
the
the
wrong
same
element.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this?
Rogan's reputation is built on his evolution from UFC commentary to long-form debates that make people question their beliefs. So when De Niro turned his red carpet appearances into political sermons, Rogan didn't politely disagree. He brought a sledgehammer. De Niro, after all, built a career playing hitmen, crooked cops, and mafia dons. Now he's suddenly America's moral compass. To Rogan, it's like watching a lifelong bouncer suddenly become a yoga instructor preaching nonviolence. When your resume screams, "I played psychos professionally," maybe don't lecture the nation about ethics.
And when old people are tired and cranky, they just want everyone to listen to them, and they don't have time to have a calm conversation, and you state out your opinion, I'll state my opinion, let's see where we have common ground. Hey, get off my lawn! And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's being this old grumpy man that is so lost that he thinks it's a good idea to stand in front of a bunch of people on the street and give a speech on camera about how bad Donald Trump is. With all the shit that's going in the world.
That I know.
all the craziness.
Rogan's fan base is made up of working class people facing real world struggles like rent, gas prices, and raising kids. Meanwhile, De Niro delivers fiery speeches on social justice from the comfort of multi-million-dollar mansions. Rogan finds the disconnect laughable. This is typical Hollywood hypocrisy. Rich elites claiming to understand the struggles of strangers. While De Niro delivers Emmy-worthy rants, Rogan's podcast is a no-frills arena of open conversation. That contrast makes the takedown so effective. Rogan isn't yelling. He's calmly dismantling. It's a one-sided war, and De Niro doesn't even show up. That silence? It's deafening.
De Niro, there's something about being a star where you think your opinion's more important than anybody else's, and you can go give a press conference, and he obviously has been very vocal from 2016 that he hates Trump for whatever reason. Maybe they have some personal thing.
You think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way.
Now he's like holding press conferences. Now everyone's heckling him everywhere he goes.
That's so bad.
Like instead of just being this cranky old liberal, now you're this guy that is yelling at other people that are Trump supporters, and they're yelling at you. Like you've opened yourself up to this nonsense.
Then comes the heavy blow: cultural hypocrisy. Rogan draws a line and strikes at Hollywood's favorite paradox, preaching against capitalism from a gilded balcony. And De Niro is the poster child of that absurdity. The man who built his legacy playing ethically compromised characters now wants to be your moral guide. Rogan doesn't just criticize the outbursts, he turns them into a comedy sketch. The actor who once terrified audiences with steely stares has become a caricature, ranting at clouds from a luxury estate. It's not just satire, it's performance art. In the age of authenticity, De Niro's righteous fury feels about as real as a green screen explosion.
He and Trump hate each other personally. I think that's what that is. Yeah, I think it probably. What are the odds?
He seems mentally handicapped. I'm not kidding. He seems I don't know. I have a feel he doesn't know about. He was on Bill Maher. Bill Maher has him on to ask him. It's crazy if Bill Maher would ask him anything. You know, there's a National Guard in the fucking subways and shit.
Yeah.
So Bill asks him, "What do you think about it?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't know about that. If there's anything I can do to help."
All I should be asking Robert De Niro about is two things: awesome movies and divorce.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell me what happened to you.
I would love to ask him about that.
With the divorce, tell me what happened if you want to talk about it, and tell me what happened to you with these awesome fucking movies. I don't need to know jack shit about it.
In today's digital era, relevance is like oxygen, and De Niro's supply is running low. Rogan's critiques align perfectly with growing public skepticism about Hollywood's moral high ground. Without even trying, he channels the frustration of millions who feel lectured by celebrities masquerading as philosophers. The result? A cultural 2-for-1. De Niro's credibility tanks, while Rogan earns more street cred. His goal isn't to win a policy debate, it's to spotlight the absurdity of celebrity activism. De Niro's dramatic rants come off like bad community theater, and the contradictions speak louder than words.
He's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care.
You didn't think this through. Like this is, and he's getting yelled at, he's doing an outside press conference. Like,
is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
Robert, you're 80 years old, don't ruin this thing. You've had this life where you were a raging bull. You know, you were in The Godfather. Like, stop doing this. Don't do it.
He says. Yet, he seems completely unaware of the world beyond his teleprompter. He has no clue what his role as president truly requires. It should be about uniting the country, serving the people, and healing divides, not making things worse. And by saying the quiet part out loud, he may just be driving more people straight into Trump's arms.
People that are doing it right now about Biden telling you how you should vote, even though you know he's impaired, you definitely shouldn't vote for Trump.
He has no understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them.
Don't tell people that, you idiot, because it's going to make more people angry and want to vote.
Rogan's dismantling is especially dangerous because of its accuracy. He doesn't scream, doesn't overact. He simply strips away De Niro's persona until all that remains is an empty shell drifting in Hollywood's breeze. It's like watching a frustrated Shakespearean actor deliver a dramatic monologue at an open mic while Rogan sits back and marks up the flaws with surgical precision. Every time De Niro opens his mouth, Rogan's commentary hits even harder. What once was gravitas now sounds like a confused man trying to work a flip phone in. The era of iPhones.
You're not going to convince anyone walking down the west side of New York City talking into your phone about what a threat Trump is to democracy. You aren't changing anybody's vote. You're just being a condescending, scolding, liberal, which is what drives everyone crazy.
I always say he's a lowlife. He's a low.
On one side, De Niro is pacing across an award stage, flailing his arms and delivering fiery speeches to an audience of sycophants. On the other, Joe Rogan is sipping whiskey in a plaid shirt, calmly dissecting the absurdity for 20 million listeners. It's not even a fair fight. Rogan doesn't insult, he observes. And those observations, they're lethal. Travis Bickle and Vito Corleone's once menacing faces are now memes. Less terrifying, more theatrical. The internet has moved beyond watching. It mocks, remixes, and reclaims. In this cultural cage match, De Niro isn't being cancelled. He's being clowned. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.